High school is when it really started.
You just like were like, I think I want to do this more.
I tried out for the dance team.
Okay.
And I didn't make it.
What were they thinking?
They were right.
Dance Journey! With Tracy in LA. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my podcast, Dance Journey. Today we have Shirlene Quigley.
Hello.
I am so excited to have Shirlene finally. I say finally. I don't know. How long have I even known you? Do we even know?
Time is going by so
know.
fast. I feel like you started coming in the beginning, so maybe like a couple years or a year and a half?
No.
Year and a half, a year?
I feel like it's less
been
than
more
a
than
year. I feel like it's less than a year.
I don't know.
But
everything goes so fast.
Everything is going very fast. So I met Shirlene through, she runs and started an organization called Dancing Disciples, which we'll probably get into in a little bit. But I literally think I just stumbled upon it on Instagram.
Oh, that's cool.
It was just like free Christian hip hop class. And I was like, what? Why am I not there? That's amazing. I was so excited. I posted all about it even before I like ever even went. Because I was like, why are we not all going to this? This is amazing. Free class and it's Christian. Like, and I don't need classes to be Christian, but I've been excited to find like more Christian classes because I love all kinds of dance classes, but I do have a special spot for like dancing directly for the Lord. And I'm like, yeah, that's so cool. Dear. So yeah, I discovered, so I went to that. And for a while
Whose class was it? Do you know?
I'm trying to remember who my first class was, but I literally.
That will help me know how long it was.
I probably would have to look at my Instagram because I probably posted something from it. But, and in the beginning, because I know your schedule's gotten really crazy, which I'm sure we'll also talk about, but you were always hosting them. So Shirlene was not usually, although she has taught, but she is not usually teaching them. She's usually hosting them and then has her video camera and she's like
a stage
being
mom.
like a mom.
Like
it's
a
really
BTS.
cute.
I get so excited.
But at the beginning, she always usually gives like a little message that she feels like God spoke to her, and she's just so encouraging. I feel like at the beginning, I'm just like, oh, I can't wait for Shirlene I need an encouraging word from Shirlene. Aww. And I felt like that every time.
I love Jesus.
So I just immediately loved Dancing Disciple. I loved going. And then also she brings in like really good teachers. It's really good training. Usually hip hop, but then sometimes it's like
it's been getting like a little
jazz
different.
or lyrical or contemporary.
That's what the Lord put on my heart to do a little mix it up.
Yeah, which has been so cool. So, that's how we met. And for a long time I've been like, hopefully I can get Shirlene on the podcast at some point because she just is so encouraging and I love hearing her speak and I just want her to like speak on here. She also has a very cool like story of her own dance journey, which we're going to get into. But that's how we met. We were originally going to do the podcast after a Dancing Disciples. It's every other Friday night, but that just didn't work out in our schedules. But we are in a grocery store parking lot.
We are. We're out here.
And I hope your groceries don't go bad. Waiting.
Oh no, it's okay. It's kind of getting chilly.
Okay, that's true.
It's like eggs and cottage cheese, and those can stay out for a little bit.
Can they? Okay,
they can.
Oh,
real eggs don't need to go in the fridge.
You know how I know this? Because my roommate has chickens.
Wait, what? Your roommate has chickens? Mm-hmm. Oh, not at your place, but in her home. Where she's from?
No, at my place where I currently live.
So that means you guys have chickens.
We have chickens.
Wait, do you get to have those fresh eggs?
Yes.
I'm coming over.
So what's
my best friend has chicken too.
God prepared me for this luxury because during the fires, I evacuated to my friend's place who also, she has 20 chickens and we had fresh eggs for a week.
Wait, did you live in an area where the fires
Pasadena. And we were very close to the evacuation area and we were waiting to be told to evacuate, and my family in Illinois was like, what are you doing waiting till the last minute? Get out of there.
But your home was okay and everything?
Yeah. Fortunately, it was just very smoky, awesome. But it's fine.
Oh, that was scary. That was
very scary.
Yeah.
But then I evacuated to this beautiful area in Moore Park and was surrounded by really big fluffy dogs and all these chickens, and I ate fresh eggs all the time. And I didn't know that God was also going to move me into a place that also had chickens. But I still buy eggs because we only have 2 chickens, so
they can only hatch so many eggs. Yeah.
We have to give them a lot of good fruits and vegetables for them to keep laying eggs, I guess. If we don't give them the good food, it doesn't have, I don't know, I'm learning these things.
And that's why we as humans need to eat good food or we're not going to hatch good eggs, don't know.
We're like, we don't know.
We learned from
But
the little fur babies.
We keep those out, but then we do have to wash them or like rinse them before we use them.
That's amazing. My best friend has chickens too. So random.
Nice.
Her son bought the chickens and was like, it's really cute because like his dad is like a businessman and he's like, I bought the chickens so we can save money on the eggs. Meanwhile, he doesn't realize like the coop and everything. It was so endearing. And now my best friend's like obsessed with her chickens. Like, I come over, she's like, it's my babies. I'm like,
yeah, I literally think that people say they're saving money on eggs, but I think they just love chickens. Like everyone I know that has chickens, I'm like, I'm pretty sure that this costs money in different ways.
Yeah.
We're still buying food to feed them and like.
But honestly, it's even if you're not saving money, like to get an egg from a chicken.
Yeah.
Like it's
very cool.
It's like so yummy.
One of the eggs recently was kind of like this longerish shape, and it did kind of weird me out a little. I didn't eat that one.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have.
I don't remember. Oh, we're talking about how we met. How did we get on chicken? Oh, wait. No, we were talking about being at a grocery store.
That's what it is.
Oh,
man. That I have eggs in my car. But it's fine.
Yes, and then it's fine. Even though those eggs technically do need to be refrigerated, but I guess they can be out like longer.
Yeah, it will be okay for
to
45 minutes.
Okay, great. Perfect.
Yeah, it's like almost winter in California. It's wow, it's 70.
It's 70. It's so cold here. Okay, so that's how we met, and and then I had my birthday class.
Oh, I remember I feel like that was recent.
It was August 1st, so it was sort of.
Oh, your birthday's the day before my mom's. My mom's
nice.
Birthday. Was I there? I was there. I was there in the flesh.
Yes.
Yeah.
You probably don't
like, come out. It's your birthday.
Yeah. It wasn't actually like my birthday class. It was just I went to Dancing Disciples on my birthday and I tried to get like friends to come. And I also went to another class earlier in the day. That's all I did on my birthday was dance, which is like all I ever want to do anyways. But
wait, was I teaching? No.
Yes. That was the night you were teaching.
So
and you don't remember, but you spoke such an encouraging word to me.
Oh.
And basically what you were telling me like before we just started the podcast, like the things you always say to me, but you were like spoke an encouraging word to me and then you made me do a solo when I did not have the choreo, but it was really cute anyways.
I remember you did great.
I felt like that was fun even though I didn't have that choreo.
You did.
It was okay. But it was such a fun style because I had never learned from Shirlene. I had only she'd only been
because I probably only hosted since
since I started.
It's a lot to like teach the classes and make sure the website is upkept. And just all the little things.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of how that's a lot to do, tell us about what your current dance life looks like. What are all of the dance things you're doing right now?
So now I'm my dream was to be in ministry full time in the Lord. So now I teach at 2 Christian high schools.
Oh, 2 Christian high schools.
I do. I was like more of like a long-term sub last year where I taught like the different periods. But now I'm like the song coach at one and then the hip hop varsity coach at the other. And like they just had their homecoming and we did like straight hip hop Christian and it was so good. They're so good. And then I also like steward Dancing Disciples and I will like choreograph and stuff and I will dance too. I just think I'm at a space in my life where it's like there's not I'm really picky about my yes just because now, and I loved the Lord for a long time when I was working in secular spaces, but it's kind of like I don't know exactly where in the Bible that is. I want to say it's Leviticus, which is crazy because I think that's what I'm studying right now at Bible college. But like linen and wool, like not mixing. I just feel like now that I just want to be in ministry full time and like work at a Christian school and like steward the ministry, I just wouldn't feel in this season to be okay to dance for certain artists anymore, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But like, for example, I just like choreographed for Pokemon.
So cool.
So cute.
I saw that.
Yeah, it was like so cute and like fun. And the woman that hired me was like, I just really wanted someone that I knew would have it family friendly, kids. I'm like, that's me. So
what was the actual
it was like
event?
I guess they have this big year convention like where everyone that loves Pokemon comes.
Okay.
And they have like concerts and there's like people that sing and stuff in the Pokemon world.
Where is that?
They did it out here. Like last year, I think it was in Hawaii.
Okay.
Take me to Hawaii. In Jesus' name. No. But yeah, like this year it was in Irvine, which also like I'm like, yay, it's in California. So
yeah, that's awesome.
It was so fun.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and it was like I got to just choreograph, have fun. I didn't have to choreograph anything that I would not do myself.
Yeah.
And I think that's what was really hard for me in the secular world for a while. There was things that I was doing physically that I actually didn't fully feel comfortable doing. Like being a heels teacher and being abstinent for 14 years. It's like, I was like, this is trying to be sexy. But the weird thing is like, I actually, even when I was not like saved and when I was not abstinent, like I never was like, I'm the sexy girl. Like the industry told me I was the sexy girl.
Yeah.
And so then I became the sexy girl. So like
Okay.
things like that, I think that was just like my casting for a long time. So there would always be a little bit of that in a lot of the secular jobs that I was in. So it's nice to be being asked to do jobs that are not like that. I got to choreograph for a studio, got flown out to do that as well in the same like month with Pokemon. I'm like, this is fun.
Oh,
like
cool.
I love that. Like I get to like working with kids. It's gonna be a good time. You
Yeah.
want with kids or puppies? I'm happy. I'm like, yes.
Are you choreographing for puppies?
No, not yet. But my dog can dance.
Oh, really?
No, actually, I say dance and she does a jump and a twirl.
Oh my gosh! Wait, that's so cute.
And I say arabesque and she lifts her back leg.
what? Okay, wait, really?
I promise.
Oh my gosh, I watch a lot of people's animals, and I just taught this one dog handshake. I don't know if that's a thing, but I kind of made it up, and I was like, handshake.
It's totally a thing.
She does it, but I'm like, oh my gosh, she could totally do arabesque. I just
Yeah.
gotta teach her the back leg.
Yes. No, like
That's so perfect.
Because YouTube will teach you everything. When I got her as a baby, I was like, you're gonna be that dog. And she is. She's so
good.
cute and perfect, and I love her.
Oh my gosh, but like, okay, I could picture you now doing like a choreography for dogs. Like, I don't know. Anyways,
If that was possible, please hire me. I would have the best time ever.
that's so cool that you've kind of made your brand without that even being like your point of it. But
I guess it's like my boundaries
Yeah.
are like way different now. Especially like I did walk through something kind of hard. And like even after that, like you'll be like, well, hey, my yes is yes and my no is no.
yeah, it's very clear.
It's very clear, yeah.
No gray right now.
No.
Okay, so but the main things you're doing are teaching at the 2 Christian high schools and then dancing disciples.
Yes.
And then other like opportunities.
Yeah,
that come
like
up.
things that align. I do privates and stuff still.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love being a coach. I've always loved coaching.
Oh, cool.
Ever since I taught dance, I think it wasn't even about like teaching or the choreographing. I do love encouraging. Like it brings me so much joy. And if there was like a seed that I planted like pre-Jesus or when I was sold out for Jesus, like being able to encourage someone to do something that especially now that it's the Lord has called them to do, and seeing that walked out is like, it makes me so happy. Just even like seeing like people like Makia starting her like ministry stuff and, you know, like things like that. I'm like, oh, not that was something I did, but to be able to encourage your sisters and see it. And I love watching my sisters or my brothers around me grow. And so if I can encourage, that makes me happy. So like with artists, sometimes artists are actually very timid and they're like, oh my God, I look good. And I'm like, you do. And I don't think a lot of people realize we all look great. Like that's the thing about artistry. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to look like someone else. So like, what do you look like?
Yeah.
And like, let's make that the cleanest, most amazing version. And that's great. By being real, like I'm gonna keep it real. You know, you're gonna be like, okay, that's not great. Like, like doing your best is your great. So if I can be part of that, that's like always been one of my favorite things to do.
I can definitely see. Well, I always feel very encouraged around
Yay.
you. I also really like to encourage people. So
fun.
I've always felt like that was part of my like calling to like everyone should encourage people, but like, yeah, I feel specifically I could get a lot of joy from doing that. And just like, seeing people, people just don't often see in themselves what others can see in them, or, you know, we're just always critical of ourselves. So,
And I do that.
yeah,
Sometimes-
even someone that's good at encouraging other people. Sometimes I have to tell myself, Tracy, how would you have talked to someone else if they were you, like thinking this right now? Because like sometimes we talk harder to ourselves. But okay, so that's what you're doing right now. Very cool.
And I'm in college.
Oh yeah, okay, that's new, right?
I feel like Elwoods. Like what? Like it's hard. It's hard. I'm in a master's program at Biola. It's really cool.
And do you want to share the goal of that, or
Theology stuff.
Yeah.
You'll see when I wear my cap and gown in the name of Jesus. Oh, buzz. That's probably an alarm to do my homework. yeah, it's just been so incredible though. I'm doing the college thing and I have like a job that I love. Like I never had like jobs. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I toured and stuff and I was like, this life is so beautiful and God's timing. Like if I maybe had this life 20 years ago, like the story that the Lord planned, it wouldn't have been as full and maybe I wouldn't have enjoyed it. You know, I did go to college for 2 seconds. I just was never there. And then I went on tour. So like, I was just like, my best friend was like, yeah, we were in the same math class. I was like, we were? She was like, yeah, that's how much you were not there. I was like, yeah, I just like.
Wait, so you did start college?
I did. I went to Cal State Northridge.
Were you going to do dance there or were you doing something else
Performing arts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I had like a performing arts scholarship, but I like didn't want to go. I was just trying to make my family happy.
Okay.
Because I told my dad wanted me to go like USC and be a lawyer. Here I am, Elwood's for Jesus now. I'm over here, objection for Jesus. No, but actually one of our midterm papers, it's like we have to write in like an objection form and like wrong answers. Like I legit feel like Jesus, but for Elwood's for Jesus. But anyways,
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's so fun. But like he wanted me to USC or like Harvard, and I was like, I had good grades. Like I was a good student. I've always been a very hard worker. But I was like, Dad, I'm gonna be a dancer, and he was like, ah. And I was like, I'll go to like Cal State Northridge. He was like, I spent all this money to put you in a good private school. You have good grades. I would do volunteer work. I went to college on the weekends to get like little dumb courses out the way because I was just like an overachiever, you know, just to make everyone happy. And make myself happy at times too because like, oh, yeah, I did great. But I like just didn't want to do it. I wanted to dance. And so then I went to Cal State Northridge because it was close enough to dance class. And then I'd wake up in the morning and be like, go to class or go to dance. I was like, I'm going to dance. And I never went to class. And I don't even know how I got, like, it was like the first time in my life that I saw a C on a report card and just, like, didn't care. I was like, it's a C? I passed? Okay, bye. I was like, whatever. I'm going to dance class. And then I had booked my first tour.
How did you even get started in dance in the first place? Because did your parents, like, support you doing it did you do it when you were little?
So like yes and no. I didn't really start dancing until high school. I would do like, you know like your elementary school had like a drill team.
Okay.
It wasn't dance, it was giving step touch and you wore an outfit.
Okay.
I did little things like that or like my, recreational summer camp, you have talent show. Things like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't like dance or dance
That was
classes.
kind of me too when I was a kid. Just like little things.
I get to wear an outfit and like step touch and be like, it's so fun to a song or make up a dance with my cousin.
Yeah.
Or, like everyone sit down. We made up something and it's
pretty
good.
much.
And it was just a pretend ball, throwing it in there and catching it. So I guess I was always, a dancer in that sense. I loved Paula Abdul growing up. I remember being obsessed with Paula Abdul. I was like, she is so cool and I want to dance like that. And I love Janet, but I was like more of a Paula girl. Okay. I did go to Rhythm Nation at 7 years old, third row. My parents were cool like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I still have the t-shirt. Really fun. I even auditioned for her once and then like got kept to the end, didn't book that. And then I was on tour with Missy and then they asked my availability for Janet. And I was like, wait, is this happening? Crazy. I booked on Missy and they asked for my availability for someone when I was a little girl looking at. But anyways, back to...
Yeah, so then when you got to high school...
High school is when it really started.
You just were like, I think I want to do this more.
I tried out for the dance team.
Okay.
And I didn't make it.
Okay. What were they thinking?
They were right. I was trying to learn the steps. I was like, this is going so fast. They were like 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. My team was like really good. And I was like, what does 5, 6, 7, 8 mean? Like we would just step touching in freaking summer camp. And I didn't make the team. I was like, you know what? Whatever I learn, and I'll freestyle the rest and it'll be great. No. That's not how
that wasn't acceptable to them.
So I did not make the team. And then I remember I was very sad. I remember like waiting by the phone that whole day. And then when I got the phone call, like, we're sorry to inform you. And I was like, and my dad's like, what are you going to do? And I was like, I'm going to try again.
Okay.
He was like, all right. And it's so funny because he says at that moment I realized she's good. Like, I'm doing a good job because I wasn't like, I was good. I was, you know what? I didn't do good enough and I'm going to try again next year. And I did. And Jada, who I still like, like acquaintance, I still know her. And I remember when I ran into her again, I was like, because of you, I'm a dancer. She like helped me at tryouts. And I was so annoying. And this other girl named April, I would be like, late hours at their house, like, can we do it again? Can we do it again? Can we do it again? And I made the team.
So were these girls already on the team?
I mean, they were like captains and stuff.
and
yeah,
you were
Jada
like,
was
you
graduating.
were like, I'm gonna make friends with them, or were you just like already friends with them?
You know what it is? I wasn't friends with them. They were like cool and older, but like I was that girl at school that was like, hey,
Can you help me?
Hi, like to people, like,
Yeah,
and they're like,
okay.
oh, here's the hey, hi, happy girl. And I was like, hey, it's me, I'm back. And they were like, okay. And Jada was graduating. She was like the captain, I think, that year. And she was leaving. And she helped me. And April helped me. And there wasn't a lot of black girls at my school. So maybe that's also one of the reasons
Okay.
why they were a couple of the black girls.
Okay.
You know how sometimes you see someone that kind of looks like you,
Yeah.
like, maybe she gonna help me out, you know,
Yeah.
hey girl. And they did. And
Aw.
that was such a blessing.
That's
yeah.
really cool.
And I made the team. And I probably had the lowest score. I mean, I made the team. And then I remember making the team and then going to summer camp and being like, oh God, I think I made a mistake. This is horrible. This is so hard. And I remember just feeling gutted, like everything moving so fast. And my coach being like, Charlene. She's from the South. She's from like Dallas. She used to be Dallas Cobra cheerleader. And she would, Charlene, again. I was like, I'm just horrible. I'm bad. I just suck. And one of the girls on my team was like, let me help you out. Do you want to go take a dance class with me at Millennium Dance Complex? I was
Because
like,
you grew up out here.
I grew up. I'm from LA.
Okay.
I'm from the Valley.
Nice.
And she invited me to Millennium Dance Complex. And I was like, wait, isn't that where Justin Timberlake goes? And she was like, yeah. I'm like, wait. Because, you know, like back then, like news and people would talk about it.
Yeah.
I was like, he's my husband. Yeah, I'm going. He's not my type. I know he married girl. I'm not, you know, coveting your husband. But, you know, as a teen, I was like, that's where like Britney Spears goes. That was when it used to be the Dome.
Yeah.
And that experience, I remember I went to a class and I was like, this was a whole new world for me. Yes, I am black. Okay, I'm biracial. My dad is white, my mom's black.
Okay.
And I am a brown girl. I'm an ethnic girl. I'm swaggy.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely from the Valley. But it was like a whole new world. I had never experienced hip hop and like that culture. I was like a village Christian, and our hip hop was like do, you know. And I was like, this is so cool. And there was a class after it, and to this day, I think I accidentally stole a class.
Because you just like stayed
I
in the
just
room.
stayed. I just didn't know. I was just like, I'm staying.
Was this
yeah.
money not for the whole day? Or
Dude,
like...
it definitely wasn't. And I would never steal. So when people ask me if I steal, I'm like, no. But then I think to myself, I think I accidentally stole that day. To this day, I'm really sorry. Millennium, you know, I ended up teaching there. I'm sorry. I paid you back in classes. No, but I was just like, this is amazing. And then my friend she was like, this class is really hard. I was like, I don't care. And it was so hard. I looked like a mashed potato.
Was it another hip hop class?
Yeah, it was like Russ got like he just passed Dave Scott, but yeah, and his stuff was like, and I was like, you know, with my bow in my head, like, whoa, but I still loved it. And I got home and woke my dad up. And was like, to this day, I don't remember, because like, did we have our license yet? I don't know if she dropped me off. We must have just had it. So I'm like 16. This is like my junior year, because I think I must have driven myself there. Cause
Okay.
Like that part is a blur, because I got home late and my parents were asleep, so she left. So yeah, I think we were driving. We just got our license. It's my junior year.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, because it was 2 years and then I booked my first tour. So I was like 16, had my license. I wake my dad up and he's like, oh, what you know? I'm like, Dad, I just took dance class and it was like so cool. And there's this thing called auto draft and it's $100 a month. Will you pay for it? And he was like, yeah, just in the morning. Like, and I was like, he's gonna say yes.
Wait, what was it?
Auto draft. They had this thing at Millennium. They're gonna probably get mad at me sharing this. It was $110 a month for unlimited classes.
What? Oh, I wish that still existed.
Girl, it was everything.
That's
now this
amazing.
is what, 2000, the year 2000. Let's bring it back, Millennium. $110 a month. Yeah, right.
Millennium.
It would be maybe
I
like
hope they see
$800
this.
a month.
Yeah, I
Unlimited
mean,
classes. But even that would be cheaper.
people would pay that, and then the
Honestly.
classes would have like even more people, which
Yeah.
maybe we don't want
So
that.
maybe we
So
bring it
yeah,
back,
but
it used to be a thing, but it was $110.
so then did you get that?
I did. My dad's like, okay, I'll get this for you, but you have to promise to keep your grades and keep doing everything you're doing. I was like, I promise. Oh. I'm not joking. The very next day I was there. And from that day, I was taking 4 to 6 dance classes every day.
Wow.
And I would like literally
Were
go to
you in school?
I was.
Okay.
But I was young. I don't know. I didn't sleep, but I was like, it's fine. Who cares? I don't pay bills. Who sleeps? I didn't have that many classes because I was ahead. I took a lot of AP classes. So I had like 4 periods my junior year. It wasn't that much. So I would go like school, like lunch when everyone else was like eating and kikiing. I was like doing homework. Then I would do my dance team practice. And then I would go to dance class. I didn't even know it was a job. I was just like, this is amazing. Didn't know nothing. And then it was like a year in, I heard this girl talking about dancing for Maya, who I was obsessed with. I was like, not like weird obsessed, but just like I loved Maya. Like her, Maya, Paula Abdul, like those were the girlies that like they danced, they sang, they hit the step. This girl was like, yeah, like Maya wants to pay me. I was like, wait, you make how much? That's not volunteer work. She was like, girl, no. And I was like, you get paid to dance. I was like, this, I'm doing this for the rest of my life. And
How many months in was that? Like,
it was like a year.
Okay.
And my best friend, I love her. She's still my best friend to this day. And like literally, I don't know, remember American Pie? Mm-hmm. Remember the girl band camp?
You know what? Actually, I never actually watched American Pie.
Okay, good. We shouldn't have watched it. I was like a Christian. You should not have watched that. It was in high school. It was very too grown up. But there was a girl named she was like band camp. At band camp, she would be like, they'd be like, occasionally, because I'd be like, a dance class. And my best friend would be like, I'm proud of you. She would come to all my little carnivals and stuff.
Aww.
Yeah, and she was so supportive. Other people were like, girl, you need to shut up. Like, I'd be like, the other day, a dance class, and I'm going to be a dancer. And I had this one girl that was like, no, you're not. And I was like, yes, I am. I'm going to be a dancer. Because the other day, a dance class, and long story short, I crashed the You Got Served movie audition, which was Dave Scott. He was choreographer.
Oh, you just like heard about it and just went?
Because back in the day, we didn't have Instagram.
Yeah.
We didn't have like emails like we do now. Like the agents would call.
Yeah.
And so people would talk. And there we were at the studio and these girls were like, yeah, you're going to the thing, Alley Cat for You Got Served movie. And I was like, excuse me, what time, where? What's going on? And then I had a friend that had an agent. I was like, did you hear about this? Like, she was like, yeah, go. It's at this time.
That's so
friend,
crazy.
right?
Yeah.
And I went and I showed up and then I got kept to the end and Dave Scott was like, wow, you got good, because he was like one of my first teachers where I was not good.
Okay.
Like I was not good. I tell people like I was horrible. And I was like, oh yeah. And I got kept to the end. And then like the girl day was like something like where the girls callback. It was like I had something for school. So I had to go with the guys. And I was like, what am I doing? This is so crazy. And then I got kept to the end again. And then like 2 weeks went by. And I remember him being like, you don't have an agent. You just like showed up. I was like, I did. He was like, okay. I was like, and then like 2 weeks went by and I heard people being like, oh yeah, I have rehearsal. And you know, people, are you going to rehearsal? And they were like, oh yeah, I saw you at the audition. Did you book it? I was like, I don't know. I haven't got my call yet. I didn't book it.
Oh, you got close though, right?
I did, but I got a phone call from his agent.
Oh.
And it was Lisa Coppola with MSA at the time, and she goes, Dave Scott told me that I should sign you. So I'd love to have a meeting with you. I was like, wait, what?
So
and
cool.
To this day, she now runs more of just the choreo department, but to this day, she's my agent. And like I moved when they went MSA to go to, and so my agent to this day.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wow, that's such a cool story.
It's a fun story. And then Beyonce was my first job, Crazy in Love, and then that was my third audition with her.
Wow.
And then I booked my first tour, and I didn't even tell my parents. I shot the music video and then went to New York, and like I was like technically in school. I was like, maybe I should let my parents know I'm like not only at home, I'm just like in New York. So I called my parents. I was like, hey, I'm Dad, don't be mad. He was like, what? My poor dad. I was like, I'm in New York. He was like, shut up, Shirlene. I was like, I'm going to be on Saturday Night Live tonight. They're like, stop playing with us. And my mom's like, what do you mean? I'm calling someone. Who let you get on the airplane? I was like, I'm 18. I was like about to be 19. I just didn't tell anyone because I thought someone was going to pinch me and wake me up. And not even my best friend like knew. And I was like, guess what? And like some people saw me on like the video. Remember when Making the Video was a thing? The MTV show Making the Video?
Yes, it sounds so familiar, but I don't,
like, was that you? Because the girl said her name was Shirlene and it looks like you, and Shirlene is not a normal name. I was like, yeah. They're like, wait, what? And so then that's when the rest of my life changed.
Wow.
It's such an old school way to make it
That's
happen.
so interesting. Yeah.
Showed up at the audition.
I one time crashed an acting audition. It was literally for like a student film. I don't even know why I went to that extreme.
Why not?
But somehow I wanted to get into it and I didn't get booked for the audition through my submission or whatever. But then somehow I found out about when it was. And then I was like, I'm just going to go.
You're
I'm
like,
just
"I
going to
like this
go.
role."
And I know I must have liked the role. I have no idea why I did that. But I remember one of my acting friends was like, wow, Tracy, you're so legit that you're just going to, that's like so cool that you're just going to go there. Like, that's so brave. And I'm like, yeah. And I did audition, and did anything happen? No, nothing happened. And I did not get a cool agent out of it or anything.
But honestly,
it was interesting.
You know, I always tell people the worst thing that would happen is then say no.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, sorry, you can't.
Yeah. Because you just never know if they're like, oh, actually.
Hi, everyone. So I wanted to tell you about my new book, The Tracy in LA Newsletters 2010. This is my very first memoir. There will be more. It's not like a normal memoir where you're looking back on your life and reflecting on it and writing a book about it. It's more like a memoir in real time. So basically, when I very first moved to LA to pursue acting, which was in 2009, I decided I was going to write these like monthly newsletters where I sent out actual letters in the actual mail to a bunch of my friends every month to give them updates on what I was doing with acting and jobs and friendships and all kinds of things that I was going through my very first time ever living in LA. It ended up being pretty humorous, and so I've basically gone back and edited them so that I could publish them as a book. So that's what this is. And yeah, if you want to be entertained and have a good laugh, buy my book, or if you just want to help me pay my rent next month. Oh, and you can get it on Amazon. The Tracy in LA Newsletters 2010 by Tracy Nicole. Nicole is my middle name. Also, there's a link in my Instagram bio. You can get it paperback or on Kindle.
So did you kind of drop, had you started college and then you kind of dropped it right at that point?
Well,
or?
I finished that freshman year. How I did that, I don't know, but it was like towards the end. So it was like there was a few months left. And the thing about college is like you don't really have to be there.
Yeah, yeah.
Professors now, I'm at every class. Actually am. I would like never want to be absent.
Well, we know you love it.
Yeah, I like love it though. I'm just like, this is so exciting. But yeah, no, I don't know. That part's like such a blur. Like I don't even know how I finished. But I finished that freshman year. And what's crazy is that when I did apply for this college, I was like, does it matter? They were like, yeah, a little bit. Like, not really. But like I showed a consistency of like doing well, except that one freshman year. Like my high school grades were good. But yeah, those credits still kind of matter.
Okay. And I mean, okay, good. I'm glad it was worth it.
Yeah.
But then, okay, so then did you just start like booking more tours and things, and like that just became your life?
Became my life, yeah. I just started booking lots of jobs.
And did you feel like, I'm sure there was lots of feelings, but did you had so much joy taking all the dance classes and you're like, I definitely want to be a dancer. And then when you started booking all these things, did that joy like continue for a long time or the whole time? Like, did you always, or how did that feel?
The long breath, right? So this is what's interesting. I love to dance, but I hated the industry.
Yeah. And was that pretty quickly into it that you felt like that, or did it take a while?
Yeah, I think the minute that you get that first big win, like your eyes start to open and just like it just all happens so fast, and then like insecurities like will multiply. So like the things that like, so I went to Christian school. I was not brought up in a Christian home, but I was the one that like became Christian first in my family.
Okay.
And and then my parents got saved, but like I did not have a relationship with Christ. The like relationship or like the intimacy of the Lord, like I don't feel like, and that might have just been when we were alive. Like, do you know what I mean? Like the early 2000s, and maybe it was just more like over the mountains and the sea, your river runs with love for me, and I will open up my heart and let the healer set me free. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, I actually love that song.
It was a great song. But like I feel like that's as like
Yeah.
deep as we got.
Yeah.
And it was like, memorize the Bible verse. Like, what does it mean to you? I'm like, the Lord is my strength. And I believed that, but like I didn't understand that. I didn't know what that meant. And so growing up in a predominantly like white school and having insecurities that came from that, and like not being the pretty girl. I was a gorgeous little girl, but like I was told I wasn't. You know, I was made fun of because of my hair, and yes. I was called Mufasa.
What?
My best friend, who looks similar to you, was like, as we're adults now, she's like, dude, like our school was so racist. Like you went through some really hard things. Like I would be called like thunder thighs, and because I was curvy. First of all, I looked at my old skirt. I was like, well, that fits my thigh now. Talk about thunder thighs. But like, I couldn't even appreciate what a beautiful little girl I was because of that. And we all have our stories, but it's so interesting how not feeling beautiful and then feeling beautiful in the wrong space can like alter a person out. Not alter my person. I was always the same person, but alter your purpose. And this is going to sound, and I would even be okay with giving you a picture, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna pray that what I'm saying is not taken out of context, but I'm gonna say it. The industry prostitutes young girls, and I literally, like, I'll even show you right now. Like, I was just showing my friend the other day, like right after high school, like this was one of my first headshots, and I was like, it doesn't even look like me. Like, and this is the thing. Nobody forced me to do it, but like, oh yeah, that looks sexy. That looks hot. First of all, what do you mean sexy, hot? Like, leave me alone. Like, who is that? I'm like,
oh my gosh.
19.
I'm shocked.
I look so, first of all, old.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening? And I was just graduating high school. And what's so sad is that this girl was the year before that. Do you see?
Yeah.
And the thing is like, spirituality, whether you believe in God or not, is real. And like, you can see the pure, like, I was a virgin. I was a good little girl, kept the rules. And then I got into this world where the guys were like, you're hot, you're this, oh, da, 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 and, you know, do this, do that. And you run to the applause.
Yeah.
And the validation of others when you really are validated by the king. And I didn't understand that. And like, I had great parents. Like, my parents did a great job. They loved me very much. So I didn't have like the dad issues or things like that, but I had issues of feeling accepted. And so I think we can, within Christianity, we talk about like spiritual warfare and strongholds and things like that. I didn't realize like a stronghold of like caring what people think and the validations of others is probably more than like lust. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that was the door to lust.
Yeah.
Like, that was the door to, you know, doing drugs or things like that. Because, oh, well, the cool people, if I hang out with them and I smoke this or I do, like, I'm cool. I don't partake in anything that I took 2009 prior. You want to pull it up? It's all good. I don't do it no more. But like, that part of my life was me not living in my identity. And I think if the devil can morph your identity, he can morph your purpose. And so going back to earlier, so my purpose became that picture, and within a year I should not have looked like that. But what's crazy, if you zoom in, you can still see the little girl.
When you were in it and not just reflecting on it, like, were you like feeling happy because you were getting that applause, you were getting that attention, or even during it you were like, I don't like this?
That's when I was like, this is uncomfortable.
Oh, okay.
But like, I was doing it because I felt like I had to, because once you get that first win, everyone's like, do this, do that, like da-da-da-da, and you're like, okay, well, I have to do this to like keep my position.
Yeah.
But like, when you know your position in Christ, you don't have to do that. Like, it's so sad. Like, I never was a sexy girl even when I was sexy. Anyone that knows me, like, if you met someone that knew me during that time, I had this same personality. No, but I remember one time I was on a tour. It was like, and the guy was one of the security guards, and one day he goes, wait, are you the girl that dances for so-and-so? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, wait, I swore you were part of management. And I was like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, like, you don't act like a dancer. I was like, what do you mean? But like, you know, they come in and they wear their cute outfits and they're like, where's catering?
Yeah.
And I would just be like, oh, okay, where's catering? Oh, what's your name? Oh, da, da, da. Like, I've always had that personality.
Yeah.
And so I remember when he said that, he was like, yeah, and you were just like, the way you dress, like, I legit just thought you were like part of management. And I was like, and no. But maybe he was prophesying. So yeah, like even when I was the sexy girl, I was a goofball. Like I'm a pretty girl. I think we're all beautiful women, but I was never a sexy girl. And that's how I was casted.
So you just always felt like you had to kind of be someone you weren't, even though you liked dancing. But then, so did you still like have moments of joy in that, like while
like,
you were dancing, or like
what I'm wearing? It was like a zone out.
Okay.
Like I loved to dance.
Okay.
And then I will say this, and I will keep it like I'm gonna keep it 100 because that had became so much of my identity. I did start to enjoy being the sexy girl.
Okay.
So like on stage, I was like the sexy girl and the applause, because I think there's something that we really don't talk enough about as dancers, that we do love the applause. And like that's not why God created dance, right? And so it can become like intoxicating, and like it was just like, okay, well, people like me. And what's crazy is that you can be in a stadium of all these people applauding for you, but they don't know you. They don't like you. They like what you're giving them in that moment. Do you know what I mean? And so when I started to know the Lord, this is why I don't be judging anyone in their walk ever. Like, I was in a show, a very sexy show, very pussycat doll type of show. It was a very popular show, in bra and underwear, backstage, reading the Bible. And I remember it was the first time I was reading the Bible. And like girls would take shots, and I'm like reading the Bible, and definitely like, again, this is like, I'm just getting to know Jesus, all right? Part of my testimony was like, I used to smoke a lot of weed, right? I was like, I definitely smoked weed, and I was like reading the Bible. And I was, probably smelled like weed, had a bra and underwear on with a bra, like my bra, just my underwear, a robe, in a very successful show with an amazing choreographer, okay? Like, it's legit. And I'm reading the Bible. I remember telling a girl, like, have you ever read this book? She's like,
hadn't you read it before?
I never read it, like, front to back.
Okay,
like, I went to Christian school and we learned about, but I had never read it, and it was the first time that I had encountered the Holy Spirit.
Why did you even start reading it?
Because, so, life is good, dancing is good, and then, like, my family, we had like a really crazy moment in my family, and I was yelling at God, and I was like, God, if you're real, and do something right now. And I had gotten a miracle phone call as I was yelling at him. And then that week, someone invited me to church, and that is the church that I would still consider my church home. I haven't really been going to that church so much because I moved to different areas, but I go to a church closer to where I live now. But it was the first time I experienced the Holy Spirit. And I remember experiencing the Holy Spirit and like having a move of God and being like weeping. I had never had that. And I was just like, I ran to the altar and I was like, Lord, I need you. I need you. I love you. And it was that Sunday that changed the rest of my life. And when I tell you, like, I literally started to fall in love with the Lord. I got a Bible. I had to go to Barnes & Noble that week. I went to Barnes & Noble. I got a Bible. I still have that Bible. Aww. It was like this pink one. Of course I buy a pink one. It was like pink and brown. And I would have the Bible in my bed because I had just became abstinent, actually, which is interesting. I became abstinent before I started going back to church. Oh. And yeah, and like I have a lot of trauma in that department too. And I would have the Bible in my bed. And I would be like, Lord, you're here next to me. And I could like feel his presence holding me. Like and some people will call it religious psychosis. Like, I don't care. It is a real thing. When you experience the Holy Spirit, like, it is like life-changing. Like, nobody can take it's like it's something that you know is supernatural, but it's so real and it's consistent. And I was like falling in love with Jesus. So I was like, well, I would be like, well, first I would just randomly open up the book and be like, Lord, what do you want to say to me today? I love you. And it would be a verse, like the verse that I needed. I'd be like, wow. And I was like, one day I was like, okay, God, I'm going to read this book beginning to end. And it was when I had gotten the show and I had moved across the whole United States, actually. And I would read it. And I was like, this book is wild. This is better than every Housewife episode I've ever watched. That's one of my guilty pleasures. I do like the Housewives. The Lord hasn't fully convicted me of stopping watching that. That's like my one secular outlet. It's the Housewives of every county. And I'd be like, Maybe I shouldn't be watching this. I love that show. I do love it. But like when I read the Bible, I was just like, this is crazy. And I just knew it was real. And then since then, I've actually read the Bible beginning to end 7 times.
7 times? Wow, that's good.
Which is cool. And now I'm reading it again in a different way. And I think every time you read it, you see something new. But like that first time was such an interesting thing because I remember when I got to Revelation, I was like, now this is weird. I was like, who's the bride? Like, what is happening? Are we her? And anyways, it's like Leviticus. I was like, oh my gosh, what in the ram? I do not want to do that to a ram. So it's like the first time you read it, you don't understand it. But it was very cool. And I remember when I got to the Gospels, I was a mess. Like I could read the Gospels again and again. And Genesis, and now I'm a Revelation girly. Like I'm obsessed with Revelation. Yeah, I don't know how we got here, but
so you were reading the Bible and you were like, I'm like in my underwear and smoking weed, and you were asking people if they read this book.
Yeah. And so I don't judge people in their walk. And I remember being in that show and like, you know, I don't want to cancel anybody, but like the way the manager, like somebody did something very inappropriate that was in the audience, and I was like, oh my God. And she was like, well, get back up there. That person like just spent $5,000 on their table. And it was very much a dance show. When I say table, that could come across something totally different, but it was like a Pussycat Doll show, right? Okay. And I was like, but they touched me. And she was like, I don't care, get back up there. I was like, and then I heard the Holy Spirit say, quit. And I was like, you know what, I quit. Like, this is not right. And I remember I had booked another job just like that after, and the Lord was like, don't take it. And I was like, oh. And he was like, what if I was sitting there watching you? And I was like, oh no, yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. And he was like, and something really convicted me of like, I taught heels, and abstinent, like I've been abstinent for almost like 14 years now, by the way. So I've been abstinent for a really long time, real life. It's great, but I would like to get married. But I do believe in waiting till marriage. I believe that, and it's been like one of the coolest things ever. And I think even in our brokenness, like that type of willpower has made me see my yeses and my nos even more, you know, because like you'll like fall in love with the wrong person, I think, sometimes when you do that. But neither here nor there. But anyways, so I started to say no, and I started to hear more. And I remember my best friend's daughter was like, oh, Auntie, I saw one of your dance classes, and I was like, oh, maybe you shouldn't watch all of them. And then my best friend was like, no. And I was like, no. I was like, how do you feel about some of them? She was like, I like the ones where you're like in a pink leotard. And this is when I was like dancing for someone, that one made sense. I was like, oh, but not some of my heels classes. She's like, I was like, you know what? And you're right. And you just convicted me. And it wasn't that much longer after that where like I was walking my dog, and the Lord was like, and I'll never forget this moment. It was January 2023. And I was already like getting more and more like on fire for the Lord. And I was calling things off and laying things down, like calling off engagements, and just like, it's just like my desires were just of the Lord, like not the world at all. Because the thing is, and this is not me saying I'm better than anyone else, but once you see, it's like you can't unsee. And the Lord said to me, you're not a dancer that loves the Lord. You're a daughter of God that dances. And I was just like, oh, what do you mean? What do you mean? And he was like, you know what I mean? I was like, oh my gosh. He's like, it's just taken a long time for me to tell you this, because this has been your whole life. Like when you work your whole life to attain something, and then for the Lord to say, lay it down, that was hard. And so it's like putting something to death, you know? And like I was in the middle of a tour, and so I called off my heels classes. Like I taught at Millennium and stuff. I know they thought I was weird probably. I was like, yeah, the Lord doesn't want me to do this anymore, but maybe I'll come and teach like some street jazz or something. I just like, and you know, I mean, I feel comfortable now to teach a heels class. It would be like, we did like a Holy Heels couple classes in Dance Disciples. I was like, I probably won't do that again. But it wasn't bad. I just was like, if I want to teach a heels class, just bring my heels, like, and it'd be girly and be fun. And there's no like enticing, you know what I mean? There's no like, it's just like, I'm a girl and I'm wearing my heels and I'm moving my hair and I'm with my girlfriends in Christ, and we're dancing to like, you know, maybe some Don't Worry About It and didn't do the swerve, but like, you know, there's so it's okay. But I think back to the original thing, like how I said the industry will like, it's like the industry is just so perverse. Honestly, it really is. And I know some people hate me for saying it, and it's like, it's totally okay. And this is me saying it with love. Like, I was in it. It is very perverse. And if you are not strong, for me, being strong in Christ has helped me really see there are spaces for us as believers. But even if you're not a believer, like, let's just pretend it's still perverse. Like, little kids and young women should not be being asked to do what we're asked to do. And we convince ourselves that this is something that we love. But I think most women, even when we're doing it, Christian or not, we actually don't love to be sexually objectified. Although some women are going to tell me and they totally disagree and they love it, and then that's fine. That's for them. But truly, I don't believe that's how we were designed at all. And I think that the devil's smart. Like, when he told Eve, oh, did he really say that to you? The thing is like, he told her husband. So that's that little door. Eve was probably like, well, no, he didn't tell me. And like, my husband's right here. So maybe if I eat it, I'm okay. And then, and like, he's very smart, but he's a liar. And that is what we see 95%. I'm saying this with love. I'm not saying, I hope I don't sound like judgmental.
No, I mean, this is your story.
I mean, you saw my first headshot.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that haven't like lived as much of it as you have. And then there are people that maybe are listening to this that have lived it or are in it that might not feel the same way as you. And that's okay. Everybody has their story, but you're sharing yours. And that was what you saw and what you felt. And then what happened? So you stopped teaching at Millennium.
All the
you
studios.
laid down all the studios.
I was in the middle of a tour, so you can't just be like, out.
So you finished the tour.
Yeah, I felt safe to finish it. And I started to, like, 2 weeks after that, the Lord was like, dancing disciples. I was like, oh, yeah.
Oh, right away. Okay.
Yeah, and I had, like that is something, like, I had wrote on the side for something else, and he was like, no, a nonprofit. I was like, so you want me to lay down how I make money? That's how God does.
Oh yeah, he's
to
done
start
that to
something
me.
to like not make money, and he was like, yeah, because it's like a servant. I need you in like a servant's posture for this season. And then I was like, okay, it's fine. I have a savings account, and I remember taking like $2,000 of my own money to start a nonprofit. I was like, oh. My dad was like, that is not smart. God bless my dad. I love my dad. He's just like also, you know. He does like finance. He's like, I had this other business plan that I had actually presented to my dad in finance. He's like, this is great. You need to do this. I was like, but I'm hearing the Lord tell me to start my nonprofit first. And he was like, just like probably when I told him I wasn't going to be a lawyer. He's probably like, you know. And long story short, I did. And it has been one of the most fruitful, amazing things. And do I make money to this day from it? No. It's like my love offering, like just my daily sacrifice is my nonprofit. And it's just been really, I think sometimes when I'm with that little camera, it's like a mom, like I feel like I'm like, wow, God,
you
like
seem so excited.
I am.
Like, I love it.
I'm like, oh, like it's really cool to see, like we're about to be 2 years in, and I'm really like thankful that we're okay. It's hard because we just live off of donations, but like the Lord will put on someone's heart to give us what we need for that month or that year or those next 3 months. And it's just been so satisfying. And so, you know, I didn't know what that was going to look like also financially, because I'm like, Lord, okay, so I don't make money from this. And then when that tour was done, I got hit with some really hard stuff. And that was really hard and kind of shattering. But the Lord was like, I promise if you just stay faithful in the season, like I will honor like everything. And he's like, and you know, I was saying before the podcast started, like when you walk through something like that and you really have to be in a season where like it's like it was like very much a Joseph season for me. Like Joseph didn't go around saying, but this is what happened actually. He just stayed in that really hard season and stayed with the Lord. And the Lord knew he was a upright, good man, like, you know, and like, so the Lord was like, I got you. And his hand was really on me in like the hardest season. And then like a year after that, I look up and I'm like, wow, wait, I'm teaching at Christian schools. I'm my nonprofit. I'm happy. And so not even happy. I'm like thankful and I'm filled with joy. Some days I'm actually not happy. Sometimes I'm annoyed, but I'm still filled with joy. Like, this is still really hard. And now, like, back to the beginning of the podcast, I was like, the Lord's giving me back all the years that the enemy tried to steal. Like, my purity, like, all those things. Like, purity is not just waiting until marriage. It's like all of those really traumatic things that happened in the industry, like, that I will not probably really go into, but like, it's such a it's like not the forefront of my memory anymore.
That's cool.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know how he says, I forget of like your ways from back, you know, like, I don't know that girl, you know. It's like when you truly repent, like, you like turn, not that it's like I forgot when I was out here, you know, getting my eagle on, or like that picture, but it's like such a faint part of my reality that he is literally, like, I feel like the high school picture, I look more like the high school picture now, right, than that picture of me at 19. And I'm like, he gave me back all those years.
Yeah.
And I would do them all again, because the reason why I share this is because I wish I would have heard someone talk like me when I was in it.
Yeah.
I would have been like, oh my gosh, yes, wait, what church does she go to? Like, I want to go. Like, you know, I didn't have anyone around me talking like that. If anything, most people were encouraging it. Like, yes, girl, get it, girl. I wish I just had a sister be like, you know, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. And I'd be like, what do you mean? I don't.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's so much power in somebody telling you that, like, you can make a different decision. I had that experience, nothing to do with dance, but I moved all the way to California for a job that I signed a year contract to do. Nothing in the performing arts. But I had a really bad experience in the first few months, and I thought I had to stick it out no matter what, even though I was, like, getting sick. I didn't agree with tons of stuff. It wasn't working the way I thought. And there was someone who used to work there who was older, who kind of came to help in a certain season and was kind of my mentor. And I was like crying to her, and she was like, you can quit. And I was like, no, I can't. I signed the contract. She's like, it doesn't matter. You can just quit. And I was like, really? She's like, it's just like totally different situation. But like when I was young, you know, and I was like 26 or something.
And that's young.
And yeah, and I thought, well, this was, or maybe it was even it was actually younger than that. It was like 21, 22. And I was kind of like,
that's really young.
Yeah, it was kind of like my first big job after college. And I'm not a quitting type of person. So to move all the way to California from Illinois for a job and then have it all like kind of be something completely different than I thought, but then feeling like I had to stick it out, even though I was like getting sick and going to the doctor and they're wanting to give me medication because I couldn't like handle what was happening. And then, yeah, she told me that, and then I ended up quitting, and that led me to so many other things that I was supposed to be doing instead. And I'm like so thankful for her, because if she hadn't said that, I don't know that I would have done that. But even though she was there to help out the company still, she wasn't committed. She was just there for the summer, and she knew how it was, and she just saw like how the desperation I was in, and she just like felt like she needed to tell me that I could do that, and I could, and nothing bad happened. They weren't like, you owe us this because you signed it. No, like,
yeah,
we're at will, like, you know, so.
Yeah, I think sometimes, like, even us sticking things out, it's like because we care about what people think. Like, we don't want to let people down. We don't want to, and I think, like, I don't know, I feel like we don't talk about that enough, being such a door to, like, different things that God did not intend.
Yeah.
Only one, especially if you're a believer. I know not maybe everybody watching this is a believer, but, like, the only one that matters only one for me that matters is God. Like, what you think, God?
Yeah.
God is cool with it. Like, then we rolling. If God's like, get out, I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't care if the whole world is like, stay.
Yeah.
No, the Lord told me no.
Yeah. That's what I say to myself too. I'm like, I'm a committed person, but I am number one committed to God. So if He tells me not to do something anymore, like, I'm not going to do it. And if that looks like I'm uncommitted because I just quit 3 things in a row, like, I'm just committed to God, so it doesn't matter. Now, a lot of times God does tell me to finish things.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like He's constantly telling me to like quit things.
Let's not take that
But
context, right?
But ultimately, that's where our faithfulness lies with Him and like what He's telling us. So
I feel like even if you're in a season of where it's like it's a lot of quitting, you might be like, I might not be going to God first enough. He's telling me to leave, so maybe I need to go to Him about like, am I supposed to start this?
Like, maybe I'm starting too many things without asking Him first. Yeah,
because I've definitely been in that season before. But but
That's
not so
funny.
much anymore. And it was funny because like all of the cool things started happening. I got 40, and then I was like, wait, that's like when Moses stepped into ministry. So I'm in my Moses season. Moses and Joseph. I feel like I can relate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't know those stories,
They're pretty cool.
just either read the Bible or look up the stories online of the stories of Moses or Joseph in the Bible, because they do have really cool and interesting stories, and especially Joseph, because he was called to all these really big, amazing things, or like positions God was going to have him in, but he had to go through
everything.
the worst stuff for, I think, a long time. I don't know. I think you're more aware of the timeline of that, but you're studying it
He
right
was
now.
definitely, it was just something I started, the Lord called me to read, like when I was walking through the hard season.
Did you make any close friends that like you still stayed friends with after you kind of switched what you were doing? If there was anyone that you like had a deeper connection with that maybe like stayed in touch and like
for
was kind of
sure.
like curious what you're doing now, or if there was like people like that.
For sure. I've made a lot of really beautiful relationships, but like, and there's a lot. Like I have, just the other day there's a girl that is like helping me with my kids' wardrobe, and she was like a student of mine when she was like 18. I was 25. Like, so how long is that? It's like 20 years. Like, love her, but like for the most part, like the thousands and thousands of people, I would say a lot of people are acquaintances, and that's okay. Like, great people, love them. But like some people that I actually thought were like my friend, you start to realize like the only thing you really had in common was dance, and then once you start that starts to change, or the desires of that change, it's like you don't really have anything else to talk about.
Yeah.
And I also realized like, and this could be me even saying something like maybe bad on my part, like I was always focused on work, that like dance was like my whole life. So like my friendships, like a lot of it revolved around dance, right? But then when it's like I became abstinent, or it's like I'm not drinking, I'm not, like we don't really have anything in common, but we're gonna dance together, so like that's fun. I just think that the one thing we had in common was dance. But when that dance desire changes, like if they want to dance for, I don't know, Drake, and I'm trying to dance for
Pokemon. No, I'm just kidding.
not maybe Pokemon, but like even like Lecrae.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm not really trying to dance for Lecrae. Not that I'm not trying to dance for Lecrae. I'm just saying, like, do you know what I mean? Like if I'm trying to like, oh, my hair's again. Oof, it's hot in here now. If I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like if I'd rather go on tour with Jesus. Like if Jesus was like, I'm coming back on the clouds, it's tour time at a
Wouldn't that be so cool
listen.
if he had a dance team?
Like that's
with
happening.
him?
What are you talking about?
But
When he
like,
comes back, are you kidding me?
Okay.
Listen, let me explain something to you. If it's our lifetime, which I wouldn't be shocked if it is, the minute the trumpet blows, the way that I'm hitting a step, like, you know, if I'm coming down with him, I'm gonna be riding a horse. I'm gonna be like, I don't know. The Lord told me something really beautiful once. I promise. People are like, what do you mean the Lord told you? Some people wouldn't understand that, but the Holy Spirit speaks. And that is a real thing. And I remember I was just like working on a lot of stuff. This was like during this 2-year period. I was like dance disciples and just really having a lot of faith. And the Lord was like, don't you realize you booked the job? I was like, what do you mean booked that job? He's like, when I come back, you think you're going to stop dancing? And I was like, oh. He was like, your resume looks good, daughter. Like, not in the sense of like how we see it in the world, but he was just like, when I come back, like we're gonna have jobs. He's like, I'm gonna be, and I just saw this vision of me with like kids and like dancing and like worship. Like, he's like, you're not gonna be sore.
Ooh.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it was a really beautiful moment because I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, what a beautiful day that will be. Like, I will still be dancing. And it'll be so like glorious. And I won't need to ice my knees. But yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Well, we kind of need to wrap it up. We're getting
it's
really,
late.
really
It's
hot
late.
in here.
It's hot.
Her groceries
My
are in
hair's
her car.
fuzzy, my eggs.
But okay, last thing, is there any, I mean, I know your whole story is kind of advice in a way, but is there any like advice you'd want to give? Like, there's so many people that love dance and want to make a career out of dance, like, and your story is probably going to inspire many people, but is there anything you'd want to say directly to like people that love dance as much as you and us? And if there's not, that's also fine.
Yeah, I'm like, there's so many things, and how do I want to say in a sentence? I just want to encourage you to not have dance be like the forefront Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just an extension. Like, your identity is not, I'm a dancer or I'm a this. Like, your identity, for me, it's like who I am in Christ, right? So when someone's like, who are you? I'd be like, God's daughter. It's so cool. So, like, what is your identity? And is it the things that you do? Because then, like, it'll get exhausting. But if you're, like, a daughter of God who dances, like, it's just different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would be really hard for me to say anything more exciting than that. I think once you actually know that you're a daughter or a son of God, like all of the extensions of who you are, it's like there's no exhaustion, because being a dancer can be exhausting when you're successful or when you're not. Like when you're just like learning how to first dance, it can be exhausting if that's like the first thing. Yeah. So I just want to encourage you that that's just an extension of your awesome self.
And very much agreed, because I would feel exhausted with all the things I feel like God's called me to do if I didn't think that God called me to do it. Because I'm literally like, if tomorrow I can never do this podcast again because whatever, God closes a door or something, like, I don't really care. I love it. I don't really care because God told me to do this. If he closes the door and tells me not to do it anymore, I'm like, I know whatever he has is better. I love dancing. I don't think God is going to like have me not dance. There was a year I couldn't dance because I was injured and we did something different things during that year. But if he did, if he was like, no, actually dancing is not for you anymore. This is something, I want you to do something else. Like, I would probably be a little sad, but ultimately I would just be like, it doesn't matter, because I just know that he knows me better than I know myself. He knows what's best for me. He knows how to use me the best. And like, he gave me the talents that I have. So like, if for some reason he doesn't open those doors, I don't have money for classes anymore, he does something different, like a little sadness, but then, okay, God, on to the next. And it is stress relieving, because you're like, oh, I don't have to carry this. I don't have to feel like I have to keep making this happen. It's like, yeah, if God keeps opening the door and keeps leading me this way, great. If he doesn't and shows me something else, great. Like, I've become so much more flexible and it's so like relaxing. Like, I work hard, but it's like in a relaxed way, sort of. I don't know.
100%. 100%.
So anyway, agreed. But yeah, we do have to go. It's hot
It's really
and
hot.
it's
Wait.
late at night.
We
can open the door. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed Shirlene's amazing story and testimony and dance journey. And please subscribe and like and all those things. And we'll see you next time. Bye.